for Drake Bell!
Hey everyone, how's it going? How are you?
Thank you all so much for coming.
Yeah, thank you.
Really appreciate this. It looks like we have a lot of people waiting to ask some questions. That's going to be good. This is going to be a good one.
Awesome.
Let's kick things off. I always start these off with the same question. Basically, what were the first steps that got you into acting, into voice acting, into music? What were the first steps that led you here today?
Well, it started when I was very, very young. I was about 5 years old when I started acting. But before that, I can remember very, very far back. It's very strange. But my dad would put on these old movies of Martin and Lewis, Jerry Lewis and Dean Martin, and Abbott and Costello, and the Marx Brothers, and I Love Lucy, and the Munsters, and all this classic comedy. And I just loved it. I just thought they were so funny, and I would reenact them and try and do impressions, and I didn't know that you could ever be an actor or do something. Like, these movies were in black and white. I was like, I just loved to do that. And then my dad loved baseball and got me into Little League and stuff like that. And I just would rather make the kids laugh on the bench than be on the field. And so one day when I was like, at the ripe old age of 5, he's like, hey, would you want to be on TV? I think my dad was he was going through a divorce, and he was in he went to counseling for the divorce, and he was in the waiting room, and there was a parenting magazine, and in the back of the magazine there was like an article or an advertisement, like, does your kid want to be a star? Does he want to be in show business? And he was like, oh, that's maybe that's something that I could do with my son, and to bond with him, and we could do it together instead of, if he's not really into sports, so maybe this is something he could do. So we went to some manager, and I don't even remember where. And she's like, hey, yeah, do you want to be on TV and play with all these awesome toys and eat the new cereals? And I'm like, yes, I do. And then my first commercial was for Whirlpool appliances, and I took about a year till I actually booked something. So it was just auditioning. And then finally got this commercial, and it was for Whirlpool appliances, and I had to sit on a tree stump, sit against a tree stump, and eat popsicles, and let the popsicles drip onto my white T-shirt. And then the magic of the Whirlpool washing machine gets rid of the stain, shows my mom washing the shirt and all that. Well, I'm 6 years old, and I'm like, oh, so acting is you just get a bunch of free popsicles? Because you had to do a bunch of takes. They had to do a bunch of different angles. They had to get a close-up of the shirt. They had to get it dripping. So they're just handing me popsicle after popsicle, and I'm 6 years old. And
Paid in popsicles. This is the best day ever.
I'm like, yes, I want another popsicle. Yes, this is awesome. Dad, when's the next one? And so then I just fell in love with it. And then there was just the excitement of being on set and shooting something, and then when you're little and on set like that, everyone's super nice to you, and everyone's very friendly. So whereas, for example, if we're working on a project, you don't really go unless you're one of the big stars. You don't go over to Video Village where the producers are and watch the monitor and see playback and stuff like that. You're kind of oh, that's the boss's area. But when you're a little kid, it's cool. So the directors were taking me back, and I was getting to see playback of me, on TV, and so I'm like, wow, this is really cool. I just was over there and eating a popsicle, and now it looks like a commercial that I see on TV, and oh, this is so cool. And so I just fell in love with all of that, and then just continued and auditioned and tried and booked one thing, and then led to another and more experience, and then
here we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I in doing my research, within your first few years of acting, you were in some really big things. You were on Home Improvement, you're on Drew Carey's show, Seinfeld, you're in Jerry Maguire. Did you have any sense of like how big these things were? I mean, those sitcoms were huge in the 90s. I mean, Jerry Maguire was huge.
Well, when I was working on Jerry Maguire, obviously it was Tom Cruise. I mean, he's the biggest movie star of all time. And so that was really exciting. And he was incredible. You always get to pick up, when you get the opportunity to work with people you look up to or that are really successful. You get to see them, you get the opportunity to see them interact with the crew and interact with fans and interact with people. And you get to pick up little things like, oh, cool, one day if I'm ever as, successful as that person, like, that's how I'm gonna be with my fans, because he was really nice, and like he was in the middle of a conversation and he's at work. Like, we were working in a hospital for the Jerry Maguire scene, and it was a real hospital. So there were patients and people and nurses and people walking around, and people were just walking up to Tom, and can I get your autograph? And Tom's like pacing and like working on his dialogue. See him like working. He's got his sides in his hand. He's working it out. And every single time someone would come up to him and interrupt him, he would stop what he was doing and give his like full undivided attention to that person. Mm-hmm. And listen to their stories, listen to however long they had to talk to him, sign whatever they asked him to sign, and then they would go away and he'd go back to what he's doing. And then I've seen people who that would happen to, and they would be like, excuse me, you guys, come on. Really? Like, I'm working here, and I've seen that. And then you're like, ugh. And then you look at Tom and you're like, what did that take? 3 minutes?
Yeah, you built up so much goodwill.
That person went away going, that was such a monumental moment for me. Like, oh my gosh. And I've had experiences like that because I'm a super fan. There's people at this con that, I'm in the green room and I'm like, can I get, do you do selfies? Can I do do you have how much is it? And they're like, no, dude, like, come here. I'm like, oh, I really love you. I grew up on you. So I get that, and I've had experiences where people are really, really nice and really kind, and people that are like, get away from me, kid, you bother me, And so I've always been like, wow. So working on Jerry Maguire was an opportunity to be like, wow, like, Tom walks through and every single person on the set in the morning when he shows up, he goes, hey, Karen, how's it going? Good morning. Hey, Mike, how's it going? Good morning. Hey, Tim, how are you doing? Hey, Jeff, like, knows every single person's name down to the grip, down to the best boy, down to the craft service girl, down to like, and is just always like, hey, and Jerry O'Connell is like that. When I worked with him on Yours, Mine, and Ours, I mean, he would burst into the makeup room when it wasn't even his time to be in the makeup room and just like set the tone for the day, man. Yeah. Everyone would be like, oh, it's early in the morning, we're getting our makeup done. And Jerry O'Connell would walk in looking like a movie star. Like, did you do your hair and makeup at home? Like, what did you do? And he'd go, good morning, guys, how's it? Hey, I'm running to craft service. Anybody need anything? I'm gonna grab some coffees. Good morning. He worked on our movie for 3 days. He wasn't even like part of our cast that had been working together for 2 months. He was there for 3 days. He just did a little part. But he was just, and then we were on the way to set. We're in a van. I hope you guys like these stories because I'm totally going off on, because I'm totally going off on tangents, okay? But it was a really cool moment, and these are just cool things that I'm able to pick up through experiences. And we're in a van, and we get driven to set, and set's pretty far, and the extras have to walk to set. Now it's like 3 or 4 of us in this 16-passenger van, and we're being driven to set. And Jerry looks out and he's like, are those the extras walking to set? And the driver's like, oh, yeah, they don't have transpo, they have to walk. And Jerry's like, stop the car, stop the van. And it's hot outside, people are all walking to set, and he jumps out of the car and he slides the van door open. He's like, hey, get in the van. You're not walking, come on, get in the van. And then all these extras get in the van with us and they're like, because like they're told like don't go around the actors, don't go around the craft service. This is where you guys are supposed to be sequestered. This is where you guys are. And so everyone's getting on the bus and I'm like, what? Like, and he shuts the door. He's like, come on, we're all going to set. How you guys doing? You guys having a good day? You know, blah, blah, blah. Starts chatting them up all the way to set. They get off. They're like, what just happened? Like this. And I'm like, put that in my pocket. All right. I'm going to be like that. I'm going to be like you. I'm going to be like you. So cool experiences like that you get to see, you know?
That's awesome, yeah. I'm still like thinking over the fact that you guys actually filmed in an actual hospital. So like, it's conceivable that somebody like just waking up out of surgery is like being wheeled through the hall. Like, is that Tom Cruise?
Tom Cruise?
Did I die?
Is that the morphine or what? I hit that drip way too many times.
Let's take our first audience question.
Sure. Wow. We have like a crazy echo. Hello.
Today.
Hello.
Tell us your name and tell us your question.
All right, stay. Two things. A, I love your tattoos.
Thank you.
B, you sound like my boss. He's the fun boss, so it's good.
My voice or just how do I sound like
Your
boss?
vibe.
Your boss must be dope.
He's an attorney, so.
Well, then he must be brilliant too. We're exactly alike. And probably devastatingly handsome.
That's true. His wife is very happy.
That's amazing.
And with that, what is the weirdest fan interaction that turned into a good story?
Okay, weirdest fan interaction. Well, I don't think this is a weird fan interaction, but this is a very cool story about a fan. So I had this fan that would come to my shows all the time, ever since he was little. I've known him since he was a kid. And he would always come to meet and greets. And then I would see him posting on Instagram him performing my songs at his house, you know, playing guitar, playing piano. And as the years progressed, I followed this kid because he was getting really good really fast, like virtuoso good. And then he started posting my songs, him playing it on piano, on the guitar, on the cello, on the violin, on the accordion, on the clarinet, on the saxophone, on the banjo, on the upright bass, on the literally every instrument, okay? And I'm just like, man, this kid is unbelievable. And still coming to concerts and meet and greets and stuff and getting his guitar signed. And I'm like, you know, telling him how talented he is and how great he is and all this. And so I asked him, no. So I was putting a band together in Mexico. He's from Mexico. He lives in Mexico. And I was putting a band together, and I needed people in that area. And I needed like somebody who could just play everything. Like we always have a guy in the band who's like the utility guy. Oh, you can play acoustic guitar when we need acoustic guitar. Oh, you can play organ, keyboards when we need that. You can fill in where we need you. Kind of all utility. And I'm like, man, who am I gonna get that knows all my songs, that plays every instrument, that can Kent, obviously. I'm like, of course. Like, he knows all my songs, and he plays every instrument. He's amazing. And so I hit him up, and I'm like, hey, you want to be in a band? You want to be in the band? Like, I've got this tour coming up, and this and that. And so now he's in the band. And it's just like, he can't believe it. And so I asked him, I'm like, man, like, why? And this is where, like, anything that you guys want to do in your life, like, you don't know how you're going to get there, right? You don't know how. And if you plan on it, that isn't how you're going to get there. But if you just, like, put in the work, like, this kid put in all the hours to learn these instruments, to learn these songs, to learn everything. I could literally tell this kid, hey, this song off this album, play the saxophone part. And he'll pick up his sax and play exactly the song. It's unbelievable. But he put in that work, you know? And I asked him, I said, how do you know all of, or why do you play so many different instruments? Like, how did that happen? Like, what made you like want to just like? He goes, well, when I was a kid, all I wanted to do was be in your band. That's all I wanted to do. I started playing guitar because of you. I started playing music because of you. All I wanted to do was be in your band. Well, when I was listening to your music, you have so much instrumentation in your music. It has so much, it's not just a rock band. Like, you have horns and orchestral things and all this. And so I said, okay, if I'm going to be in Drake Bell's band, I have to know how to play everything, because if he needs a guitar player, I need to be able to be the guitar player. If he needs a piano player, I need to be able to be the piano player. So I need to know how to play everything so that one day, if he needs a violin player, I can do it. And I'm like, are you kidding me? He's like, that's why. And I'm like, and now you're in the band? He's like, and now I'm in the band. I'm like, that's what's crazy. But that's a story where it's like, he didn't know that I was going to hit him up one day and he was going to pop into my brain, but he's posting and it's coming across my feed. No one's ever going to see this. Oh, I'm going to post this of me singing, and no one's ever going to see it. No one's ever going to see it. Drake, no, not Drake. What was it? Tyler, the Creator, just told a story about this guy that he discovered and he tells the same thing. He's like, dude, I looked at this guy's page. He had like 300 views, but I saw it. And now he broke this artist, and now he's killing it. And he's like, but you don't know who's going to see it, And I saw this kid's thing, and I'm going through it, and I'm like, wow. And now he's in the band. He totally manifested that by putting in the work. And that's where luck, it's like, oh, man, that kid got lucky that he got to be. No, it's opportunity meets preparation. It's like, oh, if I would have texted him, and he's like, oh, well, actually, I don't really know this song. I just kind of practice and then post it. I'm not really that good. Like, I don't read music. I kind of, like, he didn't put in the work. Well, then bye. Well, then the opportunity slips away. But he put the work in. Opportunity arrives. Well, now he's lucky all of a sudden,
Oh, that's awesome. That's great. Thank you for your question.
Yeah.
Next up, our next question.
Hey Drake, how's it going? Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, cool shirt.
I had a two-part question. Was there ever any talks of possibly doing a superhero movie sequel? And the second part of my question, how fun was it working with Leslie Nielsen, or maybe being on the set of Seinfeld with the Seinfeld cast?
Being on the set of Seinfeld was awesome. I mean, those guys were really, really nice. And I was a kid, so when I was a kid, like, kind of, I had people that were like, meh, but everyone was always pretty nice to me because I was a kid. But working with Leslie was incredible because I grew up on all of his work, and he was an icon to me. And there was never any talks about doing a sequel. We should have, but yeah, that would have been really fun. But no, working with Leslie Nielsen was incredible. He's just as funny off camera as he is on camera, and goes around with his fart machine and the famous fart. He carries it with him everywhere and does it to everyone, like, constantly. It's actually really funny. You think you get old, but it's hilarious. And yeah, so it was a really great time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, you've worked with some pretty big names. You mentioned Jerry Lewis earlier, and you worked in the Jerry Lewis project. Did you get to work with him when you did that?
We didn't work together for the project, but I did get to go and spend the day with him at his office in Las Vegas, and that is one of the most incredible memories of my life.
I can only imagine meeting a legend like that.
And that's my legend. I mean,
Yeah.
that is my guy. That's my Elvis. So to be able to sit in a room and hang out and just talk shop, and it was like a dream, like a surreal moment. But we spent all day together, and it was really incredible.
Oh, that's awesome. Next up, who do we have next? Tell us your name. Tell us your question.
Hey Drake, my name is Sam, here from beautiful Tampa Bay.
All right.
I have a quick question for you. So, grew up watching you on Drake and Josh, my brother and I. Loved that show. Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
And then, kind of followed you through music afterward. Loved albums like Ready, Steady, Go. They carry a really unique sound. But one piece of music in particular, I've always had a question about. What inspired you to do your cover of Gucci Gang by Lil Pump? And have you ever hung out with Pump? Did you guys talk about it?
Dude, we're homies. We're
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. There was a point I was hanging out with Pump all the time.
Oh, wow.
But he's East Coast, I'm West Coast, so we're not in the same city often. But no, he's a good friend of mine. He's a very, very sweet guy. Like his persona. Oh, maybe he doesn't want me to tell anybody, but his persona is a little exaggerated.
Yeah.
He's a very, very, very nice guy. Very respectful, very kind. You can tell he had good parents. Like when people walk into a room, like he's a very smart, very sharp. Like he's a cool kid. And well, I was at a friend's house, and I really liked the song Gucci Gang. Like it was kind of like a guilty pleasure. I was like, I don't care what anybody says. There's a reason the song's a hit. Like, because it's a hit, and everyone's like, this is the most ridiculous song ever. Like, what is it? I'm like, dude, just play it. Just listen to this. Like, and I'd try and like explain like the brilliance of it. And then I was like, no, just look. Like, look, if we just broke this song down, watch, And I picked up the guitar, and I'm like trying to figure out. I'm like, okay, well, what chords could I play over this? And then I did it just like as like a little folky thing, and I'm like, look. Mom did more than you made, and I started doing it, and I was like, oh my God, this is actually ridiculous. Then I was like, wait. And my friend had a little like recording equipment, and I just did like this like vocoder and like stacked the vocals and did this little thing, and I was like, oh no. I have to record this now. And so I decided, I recorded it, and then I was like, then I got into I always liked the song, and I mean, I knew the lyrics, but you kind of sometimes don't pay attention to the lyrics. You're just like, oh, this is just groovy, and the syllables fit and whatever, It's like, then I went to record the song, and I was like, oh, I have to say that, okay. Maybe I'll just mumble it a little. I mean, he mumble raps, right? That's a thing. But yeah, no, it was just me being completely out of my mind and ridiculous. I was like, this is so ridiculous that people have to hear it.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you for your question. While we're on the topic of music, another artist that you covered was Brian Setzer. I know you worked with him too. Are you a big fan of Brian Setzer?
Yeah, I have him tattooed on my back.
Do you really?
Yeah, I'd show you, but we're in public. Yeah, no, I have. Oh, and I have a Stray Cats tattoo too.
Oh, there you go. That's awesome.
So that's Brian Setzer's band. That's the Stray Cats. If you don't know them, you should listen to them. They're awesome. 80s rockabilly band. No, he's my guitar god. He's like why I play guitar. I mean, if you guys watch Brian Setzer on stage, you'll be like, oh, I've seen Drake Bell in concert. Like, that's exactly everything that Brian does. And so working with him was just an absolute, another dream moment of like, this is just unbelievable. I used to listen to his, I mean, that was the guy that I was like, this is, I mean, I have tattoos because Brian Setzer, my parents always, my mom and dad are always like, what's with the tattoos? I don't get the tattoo thing. Like, what's with that? I'm like, you took me to the Brian Setzer concerts. Like, I had him on my walls. Like, you saw, like, I tried to do my hair, dress like, you didn't think the tattoos were coming? I'm like, look at the guy, he's covered. I'm like, the tattoos were on their way. Like, you didn't, like, it's not that big of a mystery where they came from. Because I had to look like him, I had to dress like him, I had to have my hair like him, and then I was like, well, but I'm a kid, but one day I'm gonna have that, because he has this tattoo on his arm, and I'm like, one day I'm gonna have the Stray Cat tattoo.
Again, it's preparation and opportunity.
It's another perfect example, yeah. And so we got to make the record with him, and what was the coolest part of making that record was there's a guitar solo of Brian's. It's one of my favorite guitar solos. It's from a song called "I Won't Stand in Your Way Anymore," and it's just the most beautiful guitar solo. And I was covering the song for the album, and I was getting all these guitar players to do the solo, and it just was like, no, like the notes are right, but it's just like it doesn't sound as good as Brian. It doesn't feel. It's like I don't feel it. Like, no. And so Brian called the studio, and he's like, "Hey, how's the recording going? How's it going?" I said, "It's going great, but man, we're doing I Won't Stand in Your Way, and I've been trying these guitar players here, and I just can't get the solo to sound the way I want it to sound. It doesn't sound as good, It's like it needs to sound as good as the original." And sometimes Brian's like into doing stuff, and then sometimes he's not into doing stuff. So you got to catch him on like he's very spontaneous, and he's like, "Hey, just send it over. I'll do it. I got time. Just send it over." And I was like,
I'll say what?
"Okay." So I sent it to Brian, and I do it in a different key than he does it. And so he calls me. He's like, "Oh man, you did it in a different. I got to tune. Oh, right. I got to learn it first, but then I'll send it over." And he sent it over, and I have Brian set. It's me covering a Stray Cats song, my favorite band, and Brian coming in with the guitar solo, and it's just like being on a record with the Beatles. It's like I can't. That's just unbelievable.
We'll go to our next audience question.
Hello. I actually came out here. I never been to Comic-Con before, so this is my first one. And I just came out here because I wanted to see you. I'm from Columbus, so we don't have too many fun stuff. But I really had to see you. I always grew up watching Drake and Josh, so I'm real happy to be here. How are you?
Yeah, I'm great. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you. So my question is, I used to act and model a lot, and I still do it sometimes. I had to take a break because of foot surgery. But when I act, the only rules I would ever get was when I self-taped, because I'm really nervous. I'm nervous right now talking to you. So I guess my question is, how do you deal with that when it comes to auditions? Because when it's self-taping, I'm good. When I'm on set, I'm good. But that initial audition, I'm overthinking it. I'm super nervous.
Totally, 100%. That's the worst thing. I mean, actors, ask any actor, well, I take that back. I know maybe 2 or 3 that actually tell me, "I love auditioning." I'm like, "What is wrong with you?" No, but I actually did. This really, really well-known, famous actor, I was talking to, his name is Richard Kind, and he said, "Oh, pilot season," because pilot season comes around and you're auditioning a ton. That's when the auditions really pick up. You're doing tons of auditions, and it's really daunting. And he's like, "I love pilot season." I'm like, "Ugh, pilot season." It's like he's like, "Yeah, I get to act so much." He's like, "I get to go in all these rooms and I get to act, and it's what I do, and I love it. I get to go in these rooms and act." And I'm like, "No, you get to go in these rooms and be nervous that someone's judging you and gonna are they gonna pick me?" And he's like, "No, my job is to just go in and act." He's like, "I don't care if they pick me or not. That's out of my control, And I'm like, wow, what a way to think about it. But all of the successful people who just crush auditions, and I am not one of them, because I actually am a bit more like you. I get terrified, I get really self-conscious, I overthink it, I overthink it. It doesn't leave, getting an audition is until the audition's over.
Yeah.
From the second I know I have the audition to the second it's over, it's, but what I do is, and Brian, Breaking Bad.
Cranston.
Bryan Cranston. Bryan Cranston said this. He's like, "Look, I have one job. My job is to act, right? My job is to go, or if you're a model or whatever your job is, you go into the room and you do your job, right? So it's like, okay, well, my job is to present this character and this material in the way that I feel that it should be best represented, and give my performance, use the room. This is my space. This is my time. This is my performance. Here you go. This is what I have control over. This is the only thing I have control over is my performance. There's my performance. Have a nice day. And you go get a cheeseburger. Because everything else is out of your control.
Yeah.
Whether they pick it, because also it's like someone in the room might have liked you, but someone in the room might have liked some other person. And then they have to argue over who's got seniority and who's going to, and then then they pick it, but then it goes to, say you're doing a commercial, then it goes to the buyer of the commercial, and they're like, we actually wanted to go with a boy. And then they're like, oh, so then that's out of your control. You didn't know that the buyer changed their mind. It's not because you were a bad actress, not because you didn't have the look they wanted, not because of this, not because of that. It's just when they got they changed their mind. Oh, you know what? We want to use a boy for this commercial instead. And then you're like, oh, they didn't like me, I did a bad job, and this and that. And you're like, no, it's something so completely out of your control that has absolutely nothing to do with you. It's just they're selling a product, and this is what they decided to do. It has nothing to do with your performance. So if you go into it with that knowledge and you leave with that knowledge, you literally have all the control, right? You're like, hey, I have the control to go in here. This is my performance. Now I'm out. See you later. On to the next audition. And that's when Bryan Krantz is like, I never stopped working. And I had another friend who she just crushes auditions. She books everything she goes out on. She books it. And I was asking her, I'm like, what is your prep? Like, what is your thing, you know? And she's just like, I don't care. I'm like, well, you gotta care. It's your job. Like, she's like, no, I don't mean that. She's like, I just don't care. Like, you know, I go in, I park, I pay the meter, I go in, I do my audition, I go out, and I meet up with some friends for coffee. Like, it's just part of my day. It's just like another thing that I got to do, and this is what I do, you know? And I just don't think about it, and it just doesn't matter. I don't care if I get the job or not. And that's another thing people read. Like, people, when you're like, I need this job, I need this job, I need this job, I need this job, people are like, ugh. But when you walk in, you're like, oh, hey, what's up? Like, cool, okay, yep, ready? Yeah, here we go. Boom, boom, boom. You're totally natural, totally comfortable in there. You're like, all right, see you later. It's no pressure on you. It's like you're like, yeah, cool. If you book me, you book me. If not, I got another audition coming, you know, and I'll get one. And then once you get that one, all those hundreds that you went on don't even matter. You don't even remember them. And but yeah, and then also use, you know, when you're a performer, you use oh man, I'm anxious on stage, or I'm nervous to get on stage. It's like, cool. We'll use that nervous energy and focus it into something positive. You know, it's like, oh, maybe I'm gonna give more energy on stage. Like for example, you know, when I'm playing to 40,000 people, I definitely have more energy, more nerves, more like, okay, this is a bigger show. Is everyone going to remember is everyone going to play the right chords? Is everyone going to remember their harmonies? Is everyone going to remember their moves, their things, and all that? And but then you use that, and all of a sudden you're giving more energy to the audience, and you're releasing that. You're like, oh, I got to get this out. So I'm going to jump higher, and I'm going to get down with the audience more. And then all of a sudden you're like giving and taking from that audience, and instead of having this like anxiety of like, oh, I'm nervous, do they like me? It's like, now you're just using that energy and putting on a exciting show, you know?
Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you. We are like over a half hour into this interview, and we have yet to mention Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's...
Do it, man.
You have played Peter Parker or Spider-Man, I think, in over 10 different projects or series, including Ultimate Spider-Man, which was like 104 episodes, I believe.
Yeah, something like that.
What was that like? What was it like when you first hear that you're going to be playing a character like Spider-Man, like this iconic, hero?
No, I mean, it's totally surreal. I mean, I grew up on the comic books. I grew up loving Spider-Man, obviously. And just to be able to step into that role it's surreal. It's unbelievable, and our show, getting the opportunity to work with Stan Lee, and it was unbelievable. We're sitting in a vocal booth with Stan. It's like getting to work with Walt Disney. So
I, as an adult man, met Stan Lee and wept like a child.
Yeah, you do. It's emotional, but it's your child. You created all of this. Like, it's just unbelievable. And getting to work with all, Joe Quesada and all these just legends, and it was it's really, really cool to be able to walk into the Lego store and there be a giant Lego Spider-Man, and my son says, "Dada, they have you in the store." That's pretty cool.
Do you get that? Do you get recognized from kids a lot? Like, do they know it's you doing the voice? Do they?
A lot. I don't know what it is about my voice. Maybe it's recognizable or something. But I do get a lot of people that will be like, "Oh, I heard your voice," and I was like, "Wait, do I hear Drake Bell?" Like, before I saw you, It's like, oh, okay.
We'll go to our next audience question.
Oh, hey, Mr. Bell, you don't remember me? I met you like 2013 at the hotel. Used to be at the Tampa Bay Comic-Con before.
At the Comic-Con over at the, what hotel was that? It's a big one.
Yeah, it's the one right across.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'll ask you, how was it work as the Timmy Turner in the A? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So,
oh yeah, Timmy Turner.
Yeah. So how was it work with it? If Todd Strong tell you that it was a good, maybe a good role, or
Yeah, Tara's a great friend of mine. She's amazing. Obviously, I grew up on everything she ever did. And getting to work on Fairly Odd Parents was amazing. I mean, it was so strange too. I mean, it was just kind of a spur of the moment. I got a call. I was working on another project, and they called me and wanted to go to lunch with me, and they're like, "We're gonna make a live action Fairly Odd Parents," and I'm like, "Oh, that's awesome! I love the Fairly Odd Parents. Like, I love that show." And they're like, "Yeah, and we're thinking about you for Timmy Turner," and I was like, I'm like, I'm a grown-ass man. I was like 23 or 24, maybe 25, I forget. And I'm like, Timmy's a little boy. Like, you're not gonna cast like a little boy? Like, what do you mean? And they're like, no, it's the idea is like Timmy's grown up, but he like won't grow up because he will lose his fairy godparents, and so it's kind of like a Billy Madison, like you're stuck in. And I was like, okay, that's funny. I'm like, that's actually okay. Let's do that. And so I got to do it, and then got to work with Butch Hartman, who's just, remained one of my dearest friends. He's just an incredible, one of the greatest people that I've worked with in this industry, in life, is Butch Hartman. I mean, he is just a rare breed in this industry. So kind, such an amazing family man, just somebody that you look up to and you're like, if I get success, like, I gotta do it like that. He's really, really cool. And amazing to work with, super creative. Funny story. So we get to do a sequel. And the sequel is a Christmas movie. And we're up on the top of I can't remember, Whistler. Was it Whistler in Canada, in Vancouver? I forget. Yeah. But anyway, we're on the top of some really cold mountain, okay? Freezing. And I'm like, they make sets for this, And we're just so cold. And we're trying to not look cold, and we're doing our dialogue. And this is the whole movie. We're just like, get us out of this frozen tundra. And all of the crew and everybody are like in the tents with their hot coffee and their heaters blowing on them and their giant, Timberland jackets or whatever. And they're looking at the monitors, all peaceful and warm. And we're out there like, can we do take two? Can we do take two? Let's go, please, right now, go. And so the whole time, Butch kept making the joke, hey, don't worry. I promise. The next one will be in Hawaii. Next one we're doing Hawaii. I'm like, Butch, we get it. It's not funny anymore. I'm really, really, really going to die. I'm cold. Like, I don't want the Hawaii joke again, But the whole time, he's like, don't worry. Next time's Hawaii. I'm like, yeah, okay. Like, there's not going to be another one. This
Aloha.
Is the sequel. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, And so we finished the movie, and nobody expected to get a call for a third one. And we get a call for the third one, and my agent's like, oh, by the way, it's pretty cool. You're going to be shooting in Hawaii. And I'm like, dude, it's like a movie, okay? I go, no, we're not. Wait, what? And he's like, yeah. They're doing 2 months in Hawaii. And I go, oh my God. So I call Butch. I don't know if I called him right away or when I saw him, but I asked him, I said, Butch, how did you get us to Hawaii? How did you make that happen? Like, the Hawaii joke is real. Like, how did, He goes, Drake, they called me to do the third one. I opened up my laptop and I wrote, exterior Hawaii. And then just started writing. He was like, I was getting us to Hawaii. I'm like, dude, that's amazing. So for the third one, we went to Hawaii for 2 months, and literally our hotel was right there. We would come down and in this one, we just wear our board shorts and a Hawaiian shirt and some sandals. I don't have to get into wardrobe. The makeup takes 2 minutes. It's like, put some sunscreen on, And we come right down from our hotel, walk out, the beach and the set are right there. We're like sitting down, like a little virgin pina colada, like, oh, you guys need me? Oh yeah, okay. One sec, gotta go make a movie real quick. I'll be right back. Hey, what's up, turtles? All right, hey, you guys got dolphins too? Damn, all right, this is cool. It was just amazing, So we got to but he did that for us. You know what I mean? Like because he wasn't up there freezing his bun. He was off. He had his jacket and the heaters. But it was really cool that he thought about us and did that, and we got to actually do it.
We're getting low on time, but I think we have time for one more question. So I'm very sorry if we didn't get to you if you're in line. So we got one more.
I ran over Oprah.
Hi.
Is that
my
why
name
this is the worst day of your life?
Speaking of Drake and Josh, I grew up on the show, of course, but I got 2 quick questions.
We can only take 3.
Well, okay, so first one is Drake and Josh related, of course. It's what is your absolute favorite Drake and Josh episode? And
Probably
I guess
Treehouse.
Oh, I love that. Mine's
Right there. I drew it with the magic marker.
My favorite is Peruvian puff pepper. I just like that one for some reason.
That's a great one. I have a funny story. So I was in Peru, and I'm in the line at customs. I'm leaving Peru, and there's this family in front of me, and the dad he goes like this, and he's waiting for customs, and he turns around and he goes, oh no way. This is impossible. This is impossible. No way. You guys, look who it is. And his kids turn around, and their mom turns around, and they're like, no way. And I'm like, yeah, like, I'm thinking they're saying no way because they're like, they can't believe that it's Drake, but whatever. I'm like, oh yeah, cool, like, hey. And they're like, no, you don't understand. This entire time that we have been here in Peru, all we've been doing is making the joke, I wonder if they have the Peruvian puff pepper here. Hey, do they have a Peruvian, hey, where can we find the Peruvian puff pepper? And literally, we've been making that joke all week. And now we're leaving Peru, and we turn around, and you're just standing right behind us? This is the weirdest thing ever. We've been searching for the Peruvian puff pepper, but we found Drake Bell. In Peru. They were like, this is... I was like, yeah, so that was a one to remember.
My next question, it'll be real quick, I promise you.
Oh, it's okay.
I love your music too. I love I Found a Way. And what is your favorite music that you've ever done, or song that you've ever done?
Well, that's hard. There's hundreds of them, and they're all like my babies. But no, I really enjoy the song I Kind of Relate off of my new album. I think that's a very introspective, self-reflective, kind of honest song. Really proud of my first album, Telegraph. I'm really proud of all my work. It's all really good. You should listen to it.
Do you like Highway to Nowhere?
Highway to Nowhere is a great one. Highway to Nowhere is a good one. Makes Me Happy is a good one. I
You're just
found
a
a
legend.
way. Calm down. There's too many legends in that room next door to call me a legend.
Well, thank you for your question.
Yeah, thank you so
Yeah.
much.
We are just about out of time. We have literally 10 seconds. So I just want to say thank you all for coming. Thank you, Drake, for talking with me today.
Yeah, and if you didn't get your question in, come by the table. I'll say what's up and ask away.
Everybody, Drake Bell.